as one with wind and cloud.
Time for takeoff. Hold the line. Right now, nothing lasts forever. Emerge. Oh.
This team sucks in the best
Right
way.
here, right now.
It has absolutely disgusting AoE performance, as well as just mediocre single target damage. But it can still clear abyss bosses with no problem though.
Here we go.
At least if you're as invested as I am.
Right now.
Because this team is running a C2 Kazuha with an R2 Freedom Sword, Venti with Elogy of the End, Yae Miko with Lost Prayer to the Sacred Wind, and Kokomi with her donut. But obviously you don't need any of that. You just need Kazuha, Venti, and then a Hydro applier and an Electro applier.
Emerge. Right here.
But I think Yae is the best option, but Fischl is pretty good too. However, there's not many things you can change Kokomi with. You could do Mona
Right now.
and probably Barbara, but like Kokomi is much more comfortable to play.
You can get away.
And so adorable!
Adorn my night.
So if you're wondering, why is this team even so strong? Why is everyone dying? Well, that's because Venti and Kazuha are able to swirl both the electro and the hydro on the enemies, which leads to double swirl. And since there are multiple enemies, they double swirl that. So you get like maybe 3 times as much damage from their swirls each. That's a lot of swirl damage. But since I have the whale version of this team, Kazuha gives an additional 200 elemental mastery to Venti, and the Elogy for the end bow gives an additional 100 elemental mastery to Kazuha, which in turn leads to Kazuha's A4 passive giving Yae Miko even more damage.
Emerge.
Time to go.
But maybe the biggest reason this team is so strong is because of all the crowd control. Cause Kazuha and Venti are the both best crowd controllers in the entire game. So putting them together, you just get infinite crowd control, pretty much.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Let's say there's an enemy that doesn't want to get sucked by Venti. Well, Kazuha could always put him in his hole anyway, you know. Woohoo! And if even that fails, well, Yae Miko could just snipe them with her fox spirits.
Right now. Emerge. Oh.
As for the rotations, this team can actually vary a lot in the rotation you're using without it impacting the performance too much, and it mostly depends on what enemies you're fighting. However, you almost always want to have Yae Miko's fox spirits or Fischl's Oz present, and as well as Kokomi's Jellyfish, while you're using your animal abilities on the boys.
Right now.
This is so that we get the double swirling from both the Electro and Hydro that I mentioned earlier. The rotation also depends on if you have the C2 Kazuha constellation or not. So I'll start with the normal
Right
one.
now. Right here.
Start with Yae Miko's Fox Spirits and then place Kokomi's Jellyfish. After that, use Venti's E and Q, followed by Kazuha's E and Q. And then you can almost go back to Venti, Venti's E, I think. I have C1 so I can't relate. Oof. Anyway, use Kazuha E and Q and then go back and use a Venti E. Then you can go back to Yae Miko, resummon her Fox Spirits, go to Kokomi, reset her Jellyfish with Q, since her burst resets the Jellyfish duration.
Like to behold.
And then you can go back to Venti again
Right here.
and start over from the beginning. If you have time over in your rotation, like if you don't have a C1 Kazuha or if you're using Fischl, which takes a lot less field time, you could use Kokomi and attack inside of her burst, since that is gonna be a lot better than just standing around with Venti. But the rotation I've been showing now is where you
Emerge.
first use Yae Miko, then go to Kokomi as usual, and then you use Kazuha EQE, so that when you go into Venti,
Right now.
he will receive the C2 elemental mastery bonus from Kazuha. This sort of rotation also makes it so you're not gonna have both the crowd controlling abilities at the same time, which might help better with multi-wave content. So, as I said earlier, the rotation depends a lot on what you're fighting. So what will you be fighting with this team? Well, mostly AoE things, like small enemies and larger enemies. However, you could also fight bosses, like I'm doing here, with the Ruined Serpent. This guy is probably the absolute worst guy to show off this team, and I managed to pull it off anyway. So I guess that's pretty good. If there's anything I want to mention that I didn't put in this video, then I'll put it in a pinned comment, so check there. I also have a lot of other videos that you might find interesting if you like this video, so feel free to check my channel. And stay safe. Bye!
One with nature. Fallen leaves, adorn my night. The wind knows me.
Brace yourselves. Think you can get a... Emerge. Right now. Right here. Covenant of the Deep.
One with nature. As one with wind and cloud.
Time for takeoff. Hold the line. Right now. Nothing lasts forever. Emerge. Oh!